Howdy again, y'all. Sean from KappisCards back again today with some more retail randomness here, both of the online and in-person variety. These were from Amazon. Amazon keeps getting me on these, right? They keep saying like one remaining, three remaining. It said one when I bought these, right? So I did. I figured, all right, we'll get the last one. Not going to get them again. And then today I was looking for some other stuff, and it pops up as your, oh, do you want this? There's three more remaining now. They just jacked the price. A sucker born every minute, and I suckered in on those. We'll probably start with them. Then we got some Walgreens stuff here. Of course, these mystery packs we've opened several times. We've not opened these in a while. We used to do these a lot here on the channel, back in sort of the early days. If you go back a couple of years, there's even a whole playlist of them, stuff like that. But when they raised the price now to $6.49 for each of these, the value of it is kind of questionable. Some people have told me they have found some stuff in these recently. So I said, all right, we haven't done it in a while. What the heck? Let's grab these. Let's see what we get. And then we got some new stuff. Right, so Meyer, surprisingly near me, this is not the Christmas box, the holiday box. This is just the regular box of Donruss, and then Mosaic for 2025 with Dak on the cover. So we'll probably end with those. Well, let's end with the football. So let's work our way there. Let's start with the baseball, and like I said, let's start with these 2021 Series 1 packs. Scooble rookies are the big, base hit, I guess, in these. But we're looking to see if we can find some relics or autographs and stuff that I can go through and mix right now into the Etsy packs, right? Because as you're watching this, you've probably seen, no doubt, the shorts and stuff that I've started to pop out as I am creating these packs. So Slam Diego, Williams, Renfro, and forgive me as these are a little tricky to read, even for me, right? Being real close to them because the print is so damn small on this. Richards, DeGrom, Lester, getting old at 45, right? Can't read this kind of stuff. And I joke with my students, if the class, I have glasses and I never wear them, right? Other than the prescription sunglasses. We got a 2021 of Danny Duffy behind his team. Wait. The same card. It's not his teammate, it's him. The gold Danny Duffy to go with the base Danny Duffy. So that is $8.79 of 2021. Danny Duffy. So, I got a new light too over here, which... if you watched the live stream a week or two ago, right, whenever I put that up, the light was busted. So that's why I do the live stream during the day. That was a fun live stream, too, of a lot of various stuff. There was a Bregman in 86 design. It's kind of nice. But then Zara, Hayes, Ray, the fake fans behind the White Sox, Goodrum, right, Nico Goodrum. That is Ozuna, Kyle Seager, Stassi, Bellinger. Where's he going to land? Davis, or he might have already by the time I post this. You never know. Almora, Urias, Kepler, Voit, Cueto, and Clayton Kershaw, recently retired. Clayton Kershaw. Is his former high school mate there in Stafford? Is this his swan song too? Rams playing good football, aren't they? At least they have been up to the point to where I'm recording this. The Dodgers with masks on, Machado, Juan Soto, the Tigers, that is Harrison, Urena, the Yanks, Benetiendi, Gray, Trump, the elbows only celebration, Guzman as a Giant, Scherzer, and whoops, smacking cards out of my thumb here. This is Chris Davis, Freeman. Gotta laugh at Chris Davis's numbers, don't you? And how that batting average and everything just falls off there at the end after that one, 40 or a couple years there in the early 2010s. Devers, Ozuna, Sonny Gray. So we got a rainbow foil here of Maikel Franco. Another royal, hit in this, but a rainbow foil. Chris Bryant in the 1990 design with the 70 years of Topps. As a Cub, Chris Bryant. Let's set that down. I didn't set the other one down. Lindor, Evan White, Castellini, Heath, McKenzie, Shohei, Bieber, Fultonavich, Yelich, Taylor, Cabrera, and somebody else. Kendrick, Buxton, Buster Posey, the GM, of course, now for San Francisco. I like that hire of the manager out there, bringing in the guy from Tennessee. I think that could be really interesting. 'Cause Tennessee baseball, if you follow college baseball, has been kind of, they're not like they're on some kind of insane run, but they're kind of a pillar of it, right? So, if it works, that could be an interesting, opening the floodgates kind of thing, right? with what it could be moving forward. So the Mets celebrating Mejia, Niedert, Senzel, Bundy, Haniger, Nats. Here is Walker Buehler, Mookie, DeYoung, Smith, Weaver, Kiermaier, Severino, Fried, Oliveras, Abreu, Garcia, Mondesi with Blake Snell. I like that in the 86 design. The Rays like that. Obviously not around in 86, but I like the way that looks. And he's back there behind us as well. Garrett Cole, Giolito, Galvis, Jones, Dunn, Harrison, Carlson, Michaelis, Martinez, Rosario, Neris, Bader, Gordon, Voit, Turner, Alfaro, Kinsler, Cole, and Keller. So I think there are 3 packs for $20 now on Amazon for those. I think I paid like 19 and, like 10 cents or something like that when I got those. But, your move may vary on that as the price goes up. I'm probably going to leave them alone and see what else they have for a while. I found some other interesting stuff online as well recently that we're going to check out. This is a very interesting pack of the mystery pack here, the $10 mystery packs. I got the last 2 that were sitting in the display at the closest Walgreens to me. How about some 19 cards here? 19. Malik Smith, Wisdom, and Nishik. But we got 23 first edition. That should be fun. With 23 Series 2 hobby pack behind it. See if the hobby pack comes through for us. We've hit multiple numbered cards out of them before, but just looking at it like that, doesn't look like we're going to. Cool, whatever. Rasmussen, Rosario, Gilbert, Belt. That is Trevor Story and Nolan Arenado. Pollock, Hader, Falters. How about Ohtani in the Japan design? So let's set that down because we're not hitting too much here, at least so far. Harrison, Cruz, Evaldi, and JD Martinez when he was a Dodger. So let's see, we get 23 first edition Series 1. Very basic looking pack, isn't it? Topps didn't go all out in that design. So there's something shining at us in there. Let's see here. The Mets celebrating I'm going to hold on to since it's a first edition card. I'll add that to my PC because I obviously don't have the first edition version of it. Contreras, we're going to go every which way. Blackburn with Ozzie Albies in a green design that is numbered. Nice. That is numbered 134 of 150. So nice to get a semi-star. Look what's behind it, too. Ozzie Albies. Would have been nice to flip these around, but that next card is a nice card. Cal Raleigh, first edition. Obviously not his rookie, right? His rookie was in 22. But Cal Raleigh, Future Stars, first edition card. We'll set that there, too. Dean Kramer. Aaron Nola. Corey Seager. Some leaders there with Aaron Judge on it. And the Bo Sox team card. That was a good pack. That was one that, we've been kind of hit and miss on these. For a little more of the miss than the hit recently. So that was a nice hit pack. Let's see what we get in here. We get another hobby pack from Series 1 this time of 23. And 2 hobby packs. How about that? So that's at least somewhat different. But, I mean, it's on one hand, it's different. On the other hand, it's still 2023, which has been printed to the moon. But, hey, hobby packs, maybe we'll hit something. You never know. Some more of the 19 cards here. John Edwards in the gold design. Numbered card. How about that? 1821 of 2019. That is John Edwards. Not to be confused with the televangelist or the former vice presidential candidate. John Edwards. There is the Windy City Warriors and the Twins team card. I don't think I've pulled a numbered card, just basically out of that. So, I mean, it seems like MJ Holdings, when they're throwing things in, they're just throwing in whatever they got, right? Whatever they can find to some degree. They're just putting it and, doing whatever with it. So if it's a numbered card, it's a numbered card. Let's do Series 1 first because I just ripped it. Rodon, whatever. Duran, Mountcastle, Yastrzemski. We got an ace card in there. Walker, Cal Mitchell. There's Scooble. Speaking of aces. I want to zoom. There we go. Sorry if the first few weren't zoomed. Gavin Sheets, Our ace is Alcantara. Where's he going to land? Again, if he hasn't already by the time I posted this, you never know. But Alcantara and the ace. And McMahon, some leaders, the Bo Sox again, and Wilson. Let's give this one a shot. Every which way again. Nick Gordon, LeBlanc, Detmers, Walker, Bay, Bichette, Kirilloff, Grossans, Higgins, Satsugo, Volpe's rookie, pardon me, that is Tarang, Fujinami, and Taparas. That is a Tarang rookie too. So a couple rookies in there, but not, an overly exciting couple of hobby packs as we might have hoped for doing this. You know why? Because Kappi's not in here. That's not why. Neither's Millie, but Kappi especially isn't in here. So if you're not familiar with these, like I said, you find these hanging in, sometimes in Target, sometimes in CVS, but always at Walgreens. These are a Fairfield product as opposed to MJ Holdings. And like I said, locally they are $6.50 a pack, or a box. So we usually get, as you can expect, sometimes you do get 2023 packs, but it's usually a junk wax era pack, 89 score. And then a bunch of cards that are usually a bunch of junk wax and then a couple of random modern cards mixed in. Like Austin Hedges of the Padres here was about 14 Bowman, something like that. 13 Bowman Platinum. Jan from, was that the 13 Chrome again? Yeah. So Julian Jan. 1 in 8 of these boxes, it said, have a hit. The hit's usually some kind of random autograph or something. Xavier Nady as a Yankee. I do not remember him on the Yankees. I remember the little bit of time he spent in Queens, but Pat Burrell in a World Series card. So that's an insert from Upper Deck in 09. There's that. And are we really going to go every which way? Probably. So Franklin Gutierrez rookie card. That is 06. Yeah, 06 tops. I got it right. It wasn't a year off like I usually am. There's an All-Star Game card. They always seem to find these All-Star Game cards to mix in. Of Thompson, or Rengifo, Logan Webb. Right, it's 2 of them were All-Star Game cards. One of them wasn't. And Gilbert's isn't either, or Nelson Cruz. And then the way it's been recently, it's been like this, where there's been a bunch of, the same kind of year kind of in a row. But it's nice to find some 85 Donruss in pretty nice shape. And a couple of Andors, come on. It's Fairfield. Lurch, wait till we get the football box. DeColve, Shelby, Sambito, Kerpavekwa, 2 of his. Rivera, so doubles again. It's sort of what these are good for. Perez, Beniquez, Jeff Coates, some 92s here. 90 Upper Deck. Steve Avery rookie. That would have been a nice card, 35 years ago. Goose Gossage. We got, the Cubs. What happened to my light? I'm sorry, my light just died. I just bought this light and it just died. I was just saying how nice it is. Did it get too hot? Well, we're going to have to do what we can here. I'm sorry, just because the light died on us, but I've got stuff to still rip. Rainey, Baristas, Nepper, Boddicker, Young, Moffitt, Chico Walker. How about some early Fleer here? Rick Miller, Reed Nichols, Perfect Game. Barker and Diaz, Len Barker, right? Diaz. Spanky Lavalier, Moore, Pat Borders, some 89s. Ben McDonald, 84 Donruss. Van Olin, that is Hyatt. John Smiley and Rick Leach, so no hit in that particular box. Let's check out the 89 score. I don't know who this rookie would be in this. Kappi, do you know? Kappi just entered the room. You want to come over here, buddy? Plastic. See if I can get him to come over at least. Gladden, Tuffle, Moreland, Gibson, these annoying things. Robinson, there's Eckersley, Sisk, Nelson, Calderon, Grant, Benedict, Hesketh, Portugal, Todd Froworth rookie, the funky underhand design, right? Sling armor. Medina and Searcy. So they're in good shape for, being in that plastic bag for so long. All right. A couple nice serial numbered cards to start. Let's see if we can find the hit in this. These usually have a bunch of Sage and stuff like that and a bunch of duplicates to go with it. They do put more cards in it now than they used to. Let's see what the pack is. Is it going to be a Sage pack? No, it's an old Upper Deck pack. From 91 Football Upper Deck. There are a couple of errors in this, right? That, you know, have, you know, internet value, shall we say. But nothing significant about that. I have no idea what the hell this first card is. That can't be a legit. Is this really a vintage card? I mean, it's got the vintagey feel to it. It's in good shape. I mean, I have no idea who Clyde Connor was. But, you know, there's a little touch in the corners you'd expect from that age. And, you know, I don't know what that is on the back there, but... Anybody know anything about this kind of card? Is this a reprint? Is this a, you know, actually a vintage card in one of these things? I honestly don't know. It's a TCG card. It doesn't say... I'm not familiar with vintage football enough to know what year this would be. So... Rub edge of coin over the space for magic answer. Makes me think it's real. We'll set that down. Let's see how much of the duplicates we get of this Sage stuff, though. Jackson. Tet McMillan. How about two of his? Jaden Blue. Cowboy there. Ethan Barr. Walker. Tez... Walker got two there? No. Tez Johnson. Boone. Restrepo. Dylan Gabriel. Starting there, of course. For Cleveland. Sanders. Maffa, Tez Johnson again, Makuba, Maffa again, McMillan again. That's how these things always are. Some 89 Pro Set with Highsmith, Blair Thomas, Ellison, Neil Smith. Ooh, we got an old checklist. How about 89 score, right? It'd be nice if they mix the rookies out of 89 score in this, wouldn't it? Mark Ingram, Dorsey, an 83 checklist that's in nice shape, actually. It might actually have sneaky kind of, you know, low-end value, right? And find an unmarked checklist from that year. I mean, the centering's horrible, but still. Alonzo Spellman, there's J.T. Smith, James Williams. Oh, we did hit the auto. Very nice. Braden Willis. Of course, there's 1 and 4 in the football packs. You know, B. Willis. I guess he's kind of make out his name there a little bit. No idea who Braden Willis played for. If you know, let us know down in the comments. I'll look it up, see if he actually made a team or played with somebody in a, you know, preseason or something like that. I'll mix it into one of the football packs eventually. The football packs are done, though, for now. So it's going to be a while till that gets mixed in, as long with these other football cards that I have, including the new ones, because I'm not going to do any football updates till after I do the baseball, and the baseball is going to take me a while. So... Newberry, Eric Johnson, Tony Moyakai. This is Jacques Bell, Justin Smith, and Marshawn Lattimore from last year's Donruss. So, interesting box so far. We'll open up the pack, of course, too. But that's a very interesting football box. If that is a legit... That has to be. It's just the way it feels, the way it looks, everything like that. I don't know. You got to tell me down in the comments, or I will... follow it up to some degree. I don't know. Marcus Allen was there. Here is Ray Childress, Kenny O'Brien, Lathan, Vi Sikahema. Is he still doing sportscasting somewhere? Herschel Walker. He was like a, you know, the nighttime sports guy for a while. Blades, Curtis Duncan. You know, that's like 6 o'clock news stuff on one of the channels. Outside of Philly, I believe, or in Philly. James Lofton, Johnson, and Mosbar. That was years ago, though, so he's probably long since moved on. Let's do the Donruss first, then we'll do the Mosaic. So with the Meyer tax, of course, I'm going through and buying these. This was, I believe, 35, and that was 40. And I'm sure it's, again, cheaper everywhere else, but Meyer, you got to pay the extra $5. It's usually the handling fee for a blaster box, right? So let's see what we get here. There'll be a lot of cards in this. And again, I apologize for the light. Let me give it one more chance here. See if I can get it reloaded, rebooted, or did I buy, you know, cheap Amazon crap? And there it goes. Okay. So let's get it on white light there. That should be a little better. Sorry about that there for a little while. I guess I could have stopped, but what fun is that? Hubbard, Samuel, Richardson, Johnson, Torrey Holt. I used to drive a limo when I was in NC State getting my PhD. And I had Torrey Holt in the back of the limo once. You know, him and Terrence Holt, right, his brother, played for the Lions and stuff. But there is Knight, Grant. I mean, nothing fun to come out of that story other than that, right? But no tales or anything. Carlson, Bradshaw, that is Kappi knocking something down if you heard that out in the hallway. Lord knows what he is doing out there. And Eric Dickerson, Kurt Warner, Charbonnet, Tua, RJ Harvey, rookie card. That might be an all right card eventually. Gillette, because he's been having to start here recently for the Broncos. McKinney, Warner, Robinson's got Abdul Carter of the Giants behind him here in the rookies. Not a numbered card or anything, but just the rookies. Abdul Carter. Jake Ferguson, I'm going to set over here in the PC pile. Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison, and Zach Ertz to end that out. And here's a kid reporter card. My daughter's almost to the age to start doing that, but anybody wants that, there you go. Tracy Stevenson. Dion? Is Dion going to last in Colorado? Ollie Gordon, Pat Bryant. I'm not pronouncing that. Howie Long, Johnson, Christian Kirk. We got Rookie Revolution, Jaden Higgins for the Texans. Rookie Revolution. Interesting parallel set or insert set. Why do I always break those up incorrectly? Talking too fast. Yeah, let's see here. Charles Kittle. There's some random older players in this set, isn't there? Tony Dorsett's another PC for me, so that's going up here. Mullings. Ooh, look at this. I pulled a downtown, and it's one that I'm keeping. CD Lamb. Of course, that's what you're looking for in these. I got to sleeve this up at least, right? You know, you're obviously hunting for downtowns, and you're obviously hunting for you know, other things like downtowns and uptowns, right? But the downtowns, I think, is what you find in this. But to find one that I'm PCing, I'm actually a lot happier than I'm letting on. This is one that is, you know, this ain't going anywhere, folks. I know it's probably got decent value to it, but that's definitely my biggest PC pool on the channel. Right? Because, you know, I keep a lot of these random base cards and stuff like that if you've watched enough of this, but glad we got the light working again, because... Nice. So we got some random old vintage card, and we got me a downtown. I don't know what I'm going to do to display that, because I usually keep my cards in 3-ring binders, right, in the sleeves and stuff. I don't want to put that in something like that. So we'll see about that. Horn and Jalen Hurts, road to the Super Bowl. So another insert set there. Luvu and Joe Ferguson. Man, it's just... anybody they can find. But CD Lamb downtown. I still got the is it Uptown Barkley? It's still up there on my eBay page. You know, if you search Kappi's cards on eBay. But Brock Purdy, how about Emmett? My PC kind of has a little bit less of you know, excitement to it after you pull something like that. Penix, James, Corum, Cousins. You can yell at me in the comments on how much money I could sell that thing for, I guess. Tyler Warren is having a hell of a year, though, down the street here in Indy. I like that white hot parallel. I like that design, or insert design. It's pretty neat. I'm going to set that down just I like the way it looks. Hopkins, right, with the Chiefs-Ravens thing. Drew Brees, Rashee Rice, and Upchurch. Drew Brees opened a pickleball franchise not far from my house. I mean, I guess he's got some Indiana connections with going Purdue and stuff like that, where he went to college, but we're an hour and 15 minutes from Purdue here. So, I mean, it just seems random. That pickleball stuff, I don't, if you're into pickleball, you got to explain it to me, because there are people, there's a park over here, and they will play it to endless, you know, hours of the night when the weather's nice. Scataboo, rookie card, hope he comes back. I mean, not a giant fan, obviously, right, but, you know, he's a hell of a player, so hope he comes back healthy next year. Love, Gesicki, Burns, Moss, Lamar, Instant, best of Instant, the day after my birthday last year. So setting a record to win the division. Odigizua, Chase Brown, Diggs, and Darnold. So one more to go here, and we'll call it a video. First time opening Mosaic this year. We had opened the Donruss before, right? At least out of a holiday thing. But here are some various things you can get out of that if you want to freeze it and zoom. We're going to be looking for oranges. We're going to look for stained glass. We're going to be looking for autos, things like that. So we go through. How many cards are in this? 6 packs, 6 cards, 36 total out of this. And Dak, of course, on the box. So another random name from the past in the back. Look at that. But Jeffrey Simmons, Devontae Adams having a great year. That is a Jaden Higgins. This is the Jaden Higgins break after the other parallel we found of him in the other box, right? Jaden Higgins, Caleb Johnson, notoriety. What is that supposed to be, like a newspaper headline? Breece Hall and Dante Culpepper as a Dolphin is very, very random to me. Ray McLeod to get us going. Webster Henderson, Travion Henderson in the shimmer design here. That's kind of nice. And then a very sad card for me behind it. Right, Micah Parsons in the parallel, in the bang. Right, banging for somebody else now. How about a Cam Ward rookie? I guess I still got a Micah Parsons PC. Cam Ward now here in the rookie card. So the #1 pick. See if the Titans can hire somebody to actually coach. They never should have got rid of Vrabel. I mean, I just see what's going on in New England with him now. They really made a mistake getting rid of him. McGahee, Mason Taylor. The green this time, it's another Cowboy. Ezaraku, rookie card. You don't want the Cowboys defense right now, do you, though? The Cowboys rip for me here, Colin. Rousseau, I do have a Danny White PC. Danny White, of course, the quarterback when I was a kid. So, and then Keon Coleman. Danny White. Joe Ferguson. Random 80s, quarterbacks in this. And then even the other ones, Dante Culpepper and stuff. How about Jamar Chase? Of course, one of the tops in the league. Shamar Stewart. Terry McLaurin just can't stay healthy this year. How about Darnold signing over with the Seahawks? They're having a hell of a year, too. I never would have thought them would be up there. Them, the Colts, the Pats, they all shocking to me. Jalen Hurts in the Brazil game card. And then Kyler Murray on the back. 2 more, and we'll see what else we find. And we'll call it a video, and we'll be back. Like I said, you're going to see those shorts pop out, and we always have more randomness to come, right? That is Dorsett, but for the wrong team, so I'm not keeping that one. Tyrone Tracy. I only PC these players when they're in Cowboys uniforms, right? That is a Kid Reporter card in the middle of the pack. So knock yourself out with that. Jaden Higgins again. Calvin Ridley, Earl Campbell, the Tyler Rose, and Andre Reed. But a nice Hall of Famer, Earl Campbell, a nice Oilers card, the Love You Blues. Always hate it when the Titans wear those. It just looks so wrong. Right? I get it's their throwback, it's their team, but still. Dak Prescott I'm hanging on to. Duggar, Marshall Faulk. Christian Watson. Ooh, that's a neat parallel. Not numbered. I thought it might be, but I like that parallel for Christian Watson. I don't know what that's called. You can yell at me down in the comments if you made it this far, what that might be. But Christian Watson, Santana Moss, and Joe Mixon to wrap us up. So I didn't see anything numbered, anything like that in the Mosaic box. But obviously, this is the hit of the rip, right? CeeDee Lamb downtown with the cactus and the flats and all the other stuff there from the thing like that. The stars at night are big and bright and deep in the heart of Texas. Well, when the ownership thinks it's a reality show, that's what it is, right? I mean, Jerry Jones has lived his life wanting to be J.R. Ewing, except he did it in oil first, and now he owns a football team, and he just can't stay out of the friggin' way. It's just no other way to put it. But it's a fun rip. I enjoyed that one a lot, right? And obviously, this is the card I want to know, right? Is this a legit vintage card? And how vintage is Clyde Connor here? I'm guessing 60s, but I don't know, to be honest with you. So I mean, just the feel of it, it doesn't have that glossy, sort of, modern-ish kind of reprint feel, but maybe it is. I don't know. So yeah. And we got some other fun stuff here, Cam Ward rookies and nice parallels and, some good numbered cards. Finding that just as the random card in the mystery pack too. As I find those mystery packs, I'm always going to have more and, we'll have whatever else I can find coming out. So best way you can always support us here, keep subscribing to the channel. We're hoping to get to 2,000 by the end of the year. We're just under 1,900 right now. So if I ever get there, we're going to do a giveaway. And, the thing always pops up over here and, click on it and subscribe and you could win stuff too. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Hopefully Kappi or Millie will be with us next time and we will see you then. Well, I had to come back here at the end. I know it was a 30-minute video, but had no idea really what I was holding when I opened some of that stuff, especially hitting a downtown that I'm gonna PC no matter what. And that's kind of the hardest part because it's the biggest hit I've ever hit on this channel. It's obviously the biggest PC hit I've ever had in my life with the CD Lamb downtown card. But I'll show you this first. This thing, I called it TCMA. It's actually a Topps card from 1959 that was actually in that Walgreens box. So let's look at the eBay comps and stuff like that here and show you what I've found. Here is the stuff on that. It's just a cheap card in this kind of sense, right? It's nothing. The sold stuff is in the same sort of area. This is just what's listed now. But for a card from 1959, this is in excellent shape. Right, I will say that surprising in many, many ways. I mean, the corners are a little, as you'd expect, a little edge wear on them, right? Stuff like that. But I mean, Clyde Connor, I don't know who that is. You can see the difference in this versus what this person's calling good, right? And you can see the corner damage here on the listing. But a 1959 card in one of those Fairfield boxes, I'm shocked by that, let alone this. Right. And I'm going to show you the solds of this. And this is confounding to me, right? Because if there was any other player on any other team, obviously this would be on eBay before the video I put up, right? But because it's CD Lamb and because it's my team, right? I mean, the Mets behind me here, my Cowboy stuff's on the other side of the wall. But uh, ignore the jumbo cards, the oversized stuff they get in those, the big boxes from, Costco and things. But 399, 350, 380, 361, I guess, 370, 375. I think the biggest pool we've had before was the Barkley Uptown, which is still sitting on eBay. If anybody wants to, talk to me about it, I would talk to you, other ways as well. But nothing like this, nothing this kind of case hit, right? Nothing to this level. So again, $400 right there. It's hard to look at something and say that's 400 bucks. And you could probably get it what it is, but because it's my team, it ain't going anywhere. So had to pull this up, had to share, had to talk about it at least a little bit more. So hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time around.